Geometric mean is the next point what I am taking up. Understand its concept first and then you'll write the formulas of it. See, whenever we have to find the average of any growth rate, increasing rate or regressing rate, depreciation you understand in accounts now. So whenever we have to find any average of growth rate, let us say India's population, immense population, something where we rank second in the whole world. So population is also high, population growth rate is also very high. Yes, India's population is also very high, growth rate is also very high. Whenever such growth rates and depreciation rates, we will find the average. The best measure of mean for that is geometric mean. So, can you tell me the best example of anything else in the country where you find continuously the things keep on increasing only?
Pollution.
Inflation. Price rise, inflation. The price of the commodities every year keep on rising only. So if you have to find, silence now. If you have to find average rate of inflation, then which will be the best measure? Geometric mean. Economic growth rates average, best measure, geometric mean. Production increase average, best measure, geometric mean. Population growth rates average, best measure, geometric mean. Depreciation rate, best average, geometric mean. In exams, when they ask you these questions, why I am discussing this point? If they ask you questions on population growth rate, economic growth rate, inflation, depreciation, they will never mention find arithmetic mean or geometric mean, nothing will be mentioned. They'll always say, use appropriate method. And at that time you'll get confused which mean, median, quotient, what to use here. So remember this point. In this type of questions where you have growth rate or decreasing rate, which is the most appropriate method? Geometric. Now what does this geometric mean? It is a very simple definition. It is nth root of product of n number of observations. It is nth root of product of n number of observations. Meaning to say, understand it? Nth root. If there are 2 observations, square root. 3 observations, cube root. 4 observations, fourth root. 10 observations, nth root. So nth root of product of all observations, x1 into x2 into x3 up till xn. So if there are 5 observations, then fifth root of x1 into x2 into x3 into x4 into x5. Okay, and that itself is the definition. Repeat, nth root.
Nth root.
Okay, you understand this? Once again, nth root of product of n number of observations. It's a very simple definition. And it comes for 1 mark in exam. Other definitions so far I did not make you write because they are not proper definitions of combined mean, or even combined mean I made you write the note. Weighted mean importance will come. But in geometric mean in section B, generally they ask to define geometric mean. So it is a nth root of product of n number of observations. And that itself is its formula. Nth root of product of n number of observations. Now, as I was discussing that the problem in geometric mean is nth root. So in the calculator at the most we can find the square root. Cube root, fourth root, fifth root, sixth root, etc. There is a problem. So they'll ask you generally the questions which are multiple of 2. Means either they'll ask you 2 observations or 4 observations or 8 observations. More than that, you'll directly go to 16 observations. If they give you 2 observations, press square root 1 time. If they give you 4 observations, press square root 2 times, you'll get the 4th root. If they give you 8 observations, press square root 3 times, you'll get the 8th root. And if 16 observations, then press square root 4 times. They'll never give you 3 observations. they'll never give you 5, 6, 7 observations. Okay, then we have to use logarithms, which is not covered in your syllabus. So either they'll give you 2 observations or 4 observations or 8. For 2 observations, square root. For 4, 2 times press the square root. For 8, 3 times press the square root. Is everyone okay with this? Now, for any of the observations, generally, x bar will always be more than geometric mean. Arithmetic mean will always be more than geometric mean. For example, Shiv, tell me any 2 numbers. Any 2 numbers. Tell me any 2 proper numbers. 14 and 20. Oh, 14 and 20. Now listen everyone. If you find the arithmetic mean sigma x upon n, then 14 plus 20 sigma x 34 divided by 2 17. Okay? Any confusion? And geometric mean will be square root of 14 into 20. Do 14 into 20 equals to 280 plus square root 16.73. Does geometric mean come less and does arithmetic mean come more or not? Generally, arithmetic mean is always more than geometric. And this can be asked in MCQ also. But they may change the language. Geometric mean is dash than arithmetic mean. Less. Arithmetic mean is more than geometric mean, but geometric mean is less than arithmetic mean. And all the observations are same, then both will be same. Not only both, if all observations are same, all measures of central tendency will be same. Mean, geometric mean, median, quartile, decile, percent, all will be same. If all the observations are same. Here, x bar will be equal to g if all observations are same. Okay? But otherwise, x bar will be more than geometric. And last point what you have to remember is, if you are asked the questions, as I said, you generally will be applying this formula, then either increasing rate will be given, that is growth rate will be given in percentage, or decreasing rate, depreciation rate will be given in percentage. So whenever you are given with percentage of increasing rate or percentage of decreasing rate, you are supposed to follow 2 steps. First, you will add 100 in all observations. Whatever percentages are given, you'll add 100 in all percentages. And secondly, whatever final answer you get, you will minus 100 from that. Why we do that, I'll explain you when we solve the question. So suppose you are given that growth rate of economy is 5%, 7%, 8%, 10%. 5%, 7%, 8%, 10%. You don't find geometric mean of 5, 7, 8, 9. You find geometric mean of 105, 107, 108, 110. First you add 100 in all observations. Then suppose you get the final answer 105. Then 105 minus 5% is the average growth. So whenever you are given with in percentage, first you add 100 in all observations and then you minus 100 from the final answer. And if you are given with, first you minus that from 100, don't minus 100, minus that from 100. Okay, first you minus that from 100 in case of all percentages. So suppose it is given that I have purchased a new Audi car. By the way, my partner has purchased it today only, Amit sir. So, Amit Darji sir, he has purchased Audi Q3 today, and that's why we were all in red today. I'll show the photographs later on. So, first you minus 100, you minus all the percentages from 100. So, suppose it is given that Audi car is purchased by Amit Darji sir, which depreciates by 10% in the first year. First year, you use it carefully. 20% in the second year. Then you'll start using it up. 30% in the third year. So what you'll do is 100 minus 10, take the observation as 90. 100 minus 20, take the observation as 80. And 100 minus 30, take the observation as 70. And then find the geometric mean. Okay. And then whatever final answer you obtain, again you subtract that answer from 100. Whatever final answer you obtain, again you subtract 100, that answer from 100. So suppose final answer we get 86. This is 100 minus 86. 14% is the average rate of depreciation. Okay, so these rules are to be followed when we solve the questions of geometry. Any confusions in this? Note it down in the summary, then we'll start with the questions. And remember that 2 observations, square root, 4 observations, 2 times, 8 observations, 3 times. For 2 observations, press square root. For 4 observations, 2 times. For 8 observations, 3 times. More than 8, then 16. 16 generally won't be given. So in which questions we have to use this compulsorily? In which questions geometric mean should be used ideally? Whenever you are given with increasing rate or decreasing rate. Economic growth rate, population growth rate, inflation and depreciation. These questions will use geometric mean. Page 84, exercise 3.3. 1 and 2 I am doing on the board. Third you'll try on your own, and then one more you'll try on your own. Raise your hand who is still writing the summary. All have written the formulas and notes? Yes, sir. Page 84, look at the first question of exercise 3.3. The following data show the number of books read by 8 students. So write down n is equal to 8. How many times you press the square root? 3 times. For 8 observations you press it 3 times. During the last month, find the average number of books read and then using geometric mean. Here it is clearly given using geometric mean. Okay. For 8 observations, write down the formula will be 8th root of x1 into x2 into x3 into x4 into x5 into x6 into x7 into x8. Any confusion in this? 8th root of product of 8 observations. By the way, what is the definition of geometric mean? N root of product of n number of observations. Okay? Now, 8th root of 2 into 1 into 5 into 9 into 1 into 3 into 2 into 4. Okay? Right? Now, 8th root of, do it in calculator, 2 into 1 into 5 into 9 into 1 into 3 into 2 into 4. 220, 270, 580, 1, 6, 4, 0 or 1, 8, 4, 0. 2160. 2.6. How many times you press the square root? 3 times. So 2160 you write on the calculator, then press square root, square root, square root. Do you all get this 2.61? Yes. So this is the average number of books read. Right on this? The average number of, thus the average number of books read are 2.61. Understood this? Means 2 books and more than half pages of the third book you have read. 2.61. Now look at second question. One more I am doing it. The value of machine underline depreciates. Third note. Depreciates means at the rate of 10%, 7%, 5% and 2%. So first value of x will take 100 minus 10, 90. then 100 minus 7, 93, then 100 minus 5, 95, and 100 minus 2, 98. Raise your hand who did not understand this. All are clear with the values of x here today? Depreciation means decreasing rate is given. So all the percentages you'll minus from 100. So values of x what you'll take is 100 minus 10, 100 minus 7, 100 minus 5, and 100 minus 2. Did you understand that? Now find the average rate of depreciation underline using an appropriate method. See, is it mentioned use geometric mean?
No.
But I told you whenever you have a question of increasing or decreasing rate, which is the best measure of central tendency? Geometric. So here we have to solve it by geometric mean only. Any confusions in this? So first, what are the values of x? Write down. x1, 100 minus 10, 90. x2, 100 minus 7, 93. x3, 100 minus 5, 95. And x4, 100 minus 2, 98. Raise your hand who did not understand this. So now n is 4. 4 observations are there. So geometric mean will be 4th root of x1 into x2 into x3 into x4. So 4th root of 90 into 93 into 95 into 98. 4th root of multiply the 4. 77924700.
700.
After 4, 7. 7 crore 79 lakh 24,007. Okay. Now 4th root means how many times you press the square root? 2 times. So write this figure on the calculator 77924700 and press square root. 93.95. Yes. 93.95. And I told you again this final answer you'll minus from 100. So you'll write therefore average depreciation rate is equal to, stop talking, 100 minus 93.95, 6.05%. This is the average depreciation rate. And as for that, solve third example on your own. Without talking, do your work. Completing that, do the next example also. Then I'll show both of them on the board.
2.8.
Completed?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I'm explaining them, so be attentive. First, I'm explaining exercise 3.3's question 2. Only 2 observations are there, so it will be square root. N is 2. So geometric mean will be square root of x1 into x2. That will be square root of 15 into 254. What is 15 into 254? 3810 and square root 61.73. Did you mention thus the average distance traveled is 61.73 kilometers? Okay. And all of you are able to understand that section D's question 7 economic growth rate is given. So you'll add 100 in all of them. I'm directly showing that it will be 4 observations are there. So 4th root of 102 into 102.5 into 103 into 104. Okay. First you'll add 100 in all the observations this way. We'll show that. Now what is this product of all? And press square root 2 times 10,
2.87.
2.87. So again you'll minus 100 from that. Therefore average economic growth rate will be equal to 102.87 minus 100, 2.87%. Who all could get this right? So that third note is clear to every one of you.
Yes.
Now same page, section C. Look at question number 8. I'm reading it, raise your hand, how will you do it? It's quite simple one. Yes, Firdosh, any confusion? Geometric mean of two numbers is 8. Geometric mean is given as? Thank you. Geometric mean of two numbers is 8. So n is equal to 2 and geometric mean is given as 8. If one of the numbers is 4, find the other number. So we'll use that formula itself and find it. I don't know, tell you. Any confusion with the information? Geometric mean is 8 for two numbers, so n is 2. One of the numbers is 4, means x1 is 4. Find the other number means x2 is what we have to find. Any confusions? Did you all write it? Now write down G equals to two observations of square root of x1 into x2. Are you all clear with this? Panchita. Put the values. What is G? Silence. X2 only. You have to find that. So X2 only. Is everyone clear with this? Geometric mean is given as 8. Square root of x1 is 4 into x2. Raise your hand for next step. Adarshi. Yes, to cancel the square root, we'll square both the sides. Remember this, whenever you have square root and you have to cancel it, what will you do? Square both the sides. So that I'm squaring both the sides. We get 8 square is 64. 8 square is, and here square root will get cancelled. So only 4 into x2. Understood this? Greshma, what next? How will you find x2? So correct. Into 4 on the other side will get divided. Opposite will happen. So 64 divided by 4 means x2 is 16. So what would be the other number? Yes, what happened? What would be the other number? 16. Okay. Write down this. The other number is 16. So everyone is clear with the mean concept. Mean is over. Arithmetic mean is also done. Weighted mean is also done. Geometric mean is also done. Now we take up with positional averages. Summary. Now, what is this positional averages concept we attended? See, arithmetic mean is called as mathematical, algebraic, calculated averages because we have to calculate it. This also you have to calculate, but it doesn't depend on the values. It depends which position the values are. It exactly depends on which position the values are. For example, suppose these 3 observations. Let us say out of 100 she has got 50 marks, 80 marks, 100. Now, if I ask you what is the middlemost value 80. Now suppose the marks were 50, 100 same, but 70. Still would that remain median or not? Able to understand this? Or suppose this is 80, but this is 50 and this is 81. Median will be 80 only. So it is based on its position. Now suppose you have to find arithmetic mean, then there would be a drastic change. First you will do 50 plus 80 plus 100 divided by 3. 50 plus 80, 130. 130 plus 100, 230. 230 divided by 3 will come to 75, 76 point something. And then if you say 50, 80, 81 divided by 3, it will totally change. But here the position is middlemost 80, so median will remain same. That's why we call it as which average? Position. It depends on which position the observation is placed. Other values change, it is not affected. Whereas mean is affected. Mean is affected. Any single value changes, then also all the three means will get affected. So they are calculated averages and these are positional or locational averages. Understood the concept? There are 4 such positional averages we have to study. One is called median, other is called quartiles, deciles, percentiles. Now one necessary condition is that whenever we have to find these 4 things, very first we have to arrange the observations in ascending order. Because you can find the middlemost and other values only when you arrange them either in ascending order or in descending order. We will always be arranging them in ascending order. Because if I write 50, 100, 80, then you will not say 100 is the median. Still 80 is only the median. The middlemost value is 80. So I need to arrange the observations in ascending order. After arranging the observations in ascending order, median divides the number line into 2 parts. Median is 1, but it divides in how many parts? 2 parts. 2 equal parts. Because the median comes exactly in between. So it divides the series of observations into how many equal parts? 2 equal parts. Therefore, median. Quartiles means it divides in 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equal parts. Therefore, it is called quartiles. Q1, Q2, Q3. 2 parts but only 1 median. 4 parts but 3 quartiles. Q1, Q2 and Q3. Deciles divide in 10 parts. Okay, deciles will divide in 10 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10. But there will be 9 deciles. D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, 7, 8, 9. And 9 observations will divide in 10 parts. You will understand this. And for percentage I am not writing. But it divides in 100 equal parts. Understood that point, everyone? Okay. What I will do is definition of median and quartiles I dictate, and you will try for deciles and percentiles on your own. They're very simple definitions. Okay. Repeat. If observations are arranged in ascending order, then median divides in 2 equal parts. Then you'll say quartile divides in 4 equal parts, deciles divides in 10 equal parts, and percentiles divide in 100 equal parts. Understood that portion? Okay. Now can you tell me in all this which value will always come same? Median will come same with what? Means median, quartile, D pi and here P50. Will these values always come same or not? So remember that median will always be equal to Q2 will always be equal to D5 will always be equal to D50. Because all are the middlemost values. If we divide in 4 parts, then Q2 is the middlemost value. If you divide in 10 parts, then D5 is the middlemost value. And if you divide it in 100 parts, then P50 is the middlemost value. Same way, what else can come same? Q1 would come same as P25. 4 parts, so can I say each part is 25%? 4 parts, so can I say each part is 25%? And P25's position also will be at 25%. So Q1 will always be equal to, and Q3 will always be equal to P75. What else? Common sense, use it and tell me what else can come same. D1 and P10. Can I say deciles means each part is 10%? Out of 100, the each part is 10%. So D1's value will be same as, D2's value will be same as, and so on up till D9's value will be same as D9. This will help us in certain MCQs and objective questions. Got it, everyone? So I'll dictate the definitions, then I'll discuss the formulas with you. Right on? This you don't have to write. First, write on median's definition. Heading, give this positional averages. Should I dictate it?
Yes.
When the observations are arranged in ascending order, comma, median is the value which divides the series in two equal parts. Full stop, it is the middlemost observation. Full stop, it is the middlemost observation. Full stop, it is denoted by M. It is denoted by M. Quartiles. Second, quartiles. I'll dictate this and then deciles and percentiles will try on your own. See, it starts in the same manner. So like when the observations are arranged in ascending order, okay, it starts in the same manner. When the observations are arranged in ascending order, comma, quartiles are the values. Now don't write is. There's not one, but there are three. So quartiles are the values which divide the series in 4 equal parts. So there are 3 quartiles. Now divides in 4 parts, but there are 3 quartiles. So there are 3 quartiles denoted as Q1, Q2 and Q3. Define deciles and percentiles on your own. Once you complete the 4 definitions, write these notes, 3 notes. No need to write that note, arrange the observations in ascending order, because that we have written the definition itself. Every definition starts with when the observations are arranged in ascending order. Who are the written for deciles and percentiles? Check it out. When the observations are arranged in ascending order, comma, deciles are the values which divide the series in 10 equal parts. Full stop, there are 9 deciles, D1, D2, D9. Then percentiles, when the observations are arranged in ascending order, comma, percentiles are the values which divide the series in 100 equal parts. Full stop, there are 99 percentiles, P1, P2, P3, P99. Okay, then these 3 notes. Now, initially we take up with the formula of ungrouped data. I'll solve the questions of ungrouped data, and discrete also will take up today itself after that. Okay. So, ungrouped data. By the way, what do you mean by ungrouped data? 3 types of questions are there: ungrouped, discrete, continuous. Ungrouped means what will you be given in the question? Only observations. Discrete? XI and FI, observation and frequency, continuous classes and frequency. Here only observations will be given. Now pay attention. Median's formula is, median is value of n plus 1 upon 2th observation. Now why we do this plus 1? Now why not n by 2, n by n plus 1? Understand? Suppose I am talking about 5 observations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of this 5, which is the middlemost? Now suppose they are sitting together only. Viraj, Sanket, Jain, Riya and Bhavya. Akshay. Which is the middlemost? Akshay, right? Out of 5, listen carefully, out of 5 the middlemost is third. Can I say that third is 5 plus 1, 6 divided by 2, 3? Third, how do you get it? 5 are there. If you do 5 divided by 2, then you get 2.5. Half of Sanket, half of Akshay. But we have third observation. How do you get that third? 5 plus 1, 6 divided by 2. Do you get third or not middlemost? So whenever you find this positional averages in ungrouped data, first we have to do plus 1. Then only you divide by 2. Understood that? Write the formula properly and systematically later on. Means observation should not become obs. Otherwise your pages will become short. I tell them. So quartiles. Now quartiles will say QJ because there are 3 quartiles. So J values can be 1 or 2 or 3. Okay. Value of J into n plus 1 by 4th observation, where J can be 1 or 2 or 3. Now, median divides in 2 equal parts, so you divide by 2. Quartiles divides in 4 equal parts, so we divide by 4. And if you are finding first quartile, then multiply with 1. If you are finding second quartile, then multiply with 2. And your answer will come same as median. As such, if you do 2 into n plus 1 by 4, then 2 into 2 is 4. So does it become n plus 1 by 2 itself or not? So medians and Q2's value will always come same. And if you are finding Q3, then value of 3 into n plus 1 by 4. Raise your hand. Did J? What will be the formula? Raise your hand, not your voice. Only these many have understood it. Richa. Yes, value of J decides divides in how many parts? So n plus 1 upon 10th observation, where the values of J can be 1, 2, 3 up till 9. So if we have to find D7, then what formula we will find? Value of 7 into n plus 1 upon 10th observation. Raise your hand. PJ. Shh. Robin. Silence.
Value of J n plus 1 divided by 100 observation.
J n plus 1 divided by 100 observation. Percentile, so you'll divide by 100 and you'll multiply with J, whichever percentile we have to find. Where J could be 1, 2, 3 up to 19. So if you have to find suppose P 49, then 49 into n plus 1 by 100 observation. Understood that everyone? Any confusions in this? Write it down. Try to write them without saying they are very simple formulas. I'll raise the weights. So any confusions with the formula? In textbook exercise, there are no questions for median for ungrouped data. So first I'll take one extra question for median so that you understand that point. Then quartiles is there. So same question will solve using extra for decile and percentile as well. Okay? But for median I'm taking up extra questions. I have to explain you one extra point also which will be clear from that. Okay? Then we'll take up the exercise questions. So come back to the main solutions. Extra question we'll have to write first. After the geometric means last question, one extra question you'll note down. All have written the formulas? Raise your hand who is still writing it. So write down extra question. Following observations are available for marks scored by 7 students. Around 40, 10, 32, 5, 8, 28 and 50. 7 observations. Okay? Find the median. Now, how will we do this? How many observations are there? 7. First, we will have to arrange in ascending order. Always first step in positional averages. Arranging the observations in ascending order, we get now 8, no 5. Lowest is 5, okay, then 8, 10, 28, 32, 40 and 50. All of you are clear with this? Ascending order. Now median is to be obtained, so that median equals to value of n plus 1 upon 2th observation. Observation should not become obs. Okay? Did you write this? Now n is 7. Write value of 7 plus 1 divided by 2th observation. Yes, no comments in between. N is 7, so 7 plus 1 upon 2th observation. Now 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Value of 4th observation. Understood this? See here. First, second, third, fourth. What is the 4th observation? 28. And seeing the data is 28, the middlemost or not? Is it or not? It divides in 2 equal parts. 3 observations less than 28, 3 more than 28. So that is the median. Understood that concept? Any doubts with it? Now put your pens down. Now suppose I include one more observation here. Let us say 36. You have 8 observations. 5, 8, 10, 28, 32, 36, 40 and 50. Now being 8 observations, this is an important concept, so understand it. 8 plus 1, 9 divided by 2 will become 4.5th observation. Now, first, second, third, fourth. We have the 4th observation, we have the 5th observation, but we don't have 4.5th observation. So, whenever your answer comes in decimals, there is one approach of doing it which will be useful for all the four. Quartiles, deciles, percentiles, so maximum time it will come in decimals only. Okay, because you have to divide by 4, you have to divide by 10, you have to divide by 100. So maximum times come in decimal only. I am explaining you one method only. In textbook they have done this median by different method and quartiles, deciles, percentiles by different. I am explaining you one method which will be common for all. So whenever it comes to 4.5, what you do is, you divide the number in two parts, before the decimal and after the decimal. What is the number before the decimal? 4. So you will say value of fourth observation plus after the decimal 0.5. If they say 9.5, ninth observation plus 0.5. If they say, Viraj, if they say 11.25, 0.25. 11th observation plus 0.25. Panchila, if they get 6.3, silence, 6.3. Not relative. Why? And see. Purvi, what will it be? 6.3. 6 plus. Silence. What is this new thing you are doing now? Pirdosh? Be attentive. You can't see, that's why I've written so big. What will be the two parts of 6.3? Six and 0.3. So, sixth observation plus 0.3. Understood that? So tell me what you do if it is 9.7? 7. We have 12.25. 0.25. Are you all clear with this? Okay. Now in bracket what you have to do is listen. Here is the fourth observation. Then you take the difference of fifth observation and fourth observation. In case if you have, like I said, sixth observation, then you will take the difference of seventh and sixth. Next observation. If you have 11.25, then 12th minus 11. If you have 8.6, 8th observation plus 0.6. Now here 8, so 9th observation minus 8th observation. Okay. Now 4th observation is 28. But the value of 4th observation is 28 plus 0.5. 5th observation is 32 minus 4th is 28. Now, Padmash, what mess? What mistake should not be done? Solve this first. Don't do 28 plus 0.5, 28.5. And then multiply it with this 4. Wrong. 28, solve at the end only. First solve this part. 0.5 into 4. 30 is your answer. Don't do 28 plus 0.5, 28.5 into 4. That will come to 116. 116 is not there only. It will not divide in any parts. What is median? Can I say 30 will come in between 28 and 32? Does 30 divide into equal parts or not? These 4 before, these 4 after. So this is the technique to be used if you get your answer in decimals. Understood this technique? And this technique will use for deciles also and percentiles also and quartiles also. In textbook, in median, what they have done is if you get 4.5, then you do average of 4th and 5th. Means even if you do 28 plus 32 divide by 2, you'll get 30. But then this method you cannot use in quartiles and deciles and percentiles, that average. This method you can use in all. Is everyone up to clear with it? So we will follow the common measure for all. Solve this extra. Put that extra value 36 and solve it. So all are clear with this?